All righty, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. Guys, pretty crazy stuff today, and I think we have a pretty crazy setup to talk about across these indices here. And I have a roadmap that we're probably going to be following here in the short term. So let's talk about it. We're going to kick it off with VIX before we jump in the four major indices. I will point out you closed that at high of day today. You got above the 21 EMA here on the daily time frame, and you closed out with a hammer candlestick, the RSI pointing upward. I think it is likely that we continue to see this rise tomorrow. We know we have our rate decision, which is very likely going to be a rate cut on Wednesday. I think things are setting up for that bounce. I think we're setting up for consolidation / a pullback on the indices into that event. With VIX and SPY rising today, I am just saying one of these is going to be right, and I'm thinking VIX is going to suggest, I think it's going to be the winner here. VIX is suggesting that we get a pullback in the short term into that event, but I'm going to point out some things that are very much so making me think we're going to be very much so rallying on that event on Wednesday. So let's talk about it, because money is to be made this week. Let's get into it. The first things first, I think volatility is probably going to end up rising. All right. See this little white line down here? We didn't come down and test it. All right. We did not come back down, but I will point out we did nail the bottom over here. We pointed out, hey, VIX has been bouncing here for 20 something years now. It's likely going to continue bouncing right here. All right. Now we are seeing volatility pick up here. We can see on the weekly time frame, I mentioned going into this week, I'm thinking it's going to be something like this where, we could probably just continue to trade flat. So I think by end of the week, solid shot. This turns into a red candlestick, and maybe it's, a large upper wick here. Maybe we get a spike tomorrow. And I think, things are set up to really just consolidate over here on the indices. QQQ did end up pushing above 533.17 today off the open. You went to that 535 psychological level, and then right here you came to our first Fibonacci extension level up here we talked about in the weekly update. Guys, it's looking pretty immaculate. We talked about there's nothing to be bearish here. Anybody who's getting bearish this early on is really not looking at the big picture. They're not someone I think you should really be putting in, any weight into their thesis, okay? Maybe it's best not to listen to the people. If they have gotten bearish on a chart that looks like this is the weekly time frame, all right, even if it pulled back, you're bullish on the freaking pullback. You're not bearish on the pullback, all right? You're bullish on it. Nonetheless, we're looking for further upside here on big tech. We talked about how the daily RSI hadn't even gotten into overbought territory, which on all these blow-off top style scenarios, like something like that, guys, all right, you got into it twice. We talked about this in the weekly update, and we still hadn't gotten into overbought territory. Today was the first time in months that we have gotten into that overbought territory. Guys, it's 160 days. That is 111 trading sessions. Guys, we're talking 5 months. We have not seen it get overbought. And now that is happening, and if you come back over here, what happened? You pulled back for a few days after you hit overbought territory, and then you went higher and really had that bluff style top. And then guess what? You pulled back, and then you went even higher, and you had even more of that bluff style top where you just get this explosive move. And this is why I was saying there's no reason to get bearish on this thing. We didn't even see an explosive mood yet. Move. All right. The tongue twister. All right. But this typically will happen. You get these explosive moves. We haven't seen any of them. We really have not. But now we are. We saw a slow grind. Now we're seeing explosions happen over here on the NASDAQ. On the downside, what are you going to be paying attention to? 533.17. If you see it, I'm just saying it's probably going to hold. But what makes me think we're probably going to consolidate or pull back tomorrow and into that Wednesday event, into that rate cut? Yes, it's likely to be a cut. You're just kind of floating in midair over here. And typically when I see this, you typically will consolidate or have a little pullback. All right. But, I think it's unlikely that this thing just kind of skyrockets from here. You're kind of floating in there. Okay. You were floating in the air. And you can, go a little further here. But if we see another impulsive move up, then I would expect to probably sell after that. Okay. You're going to get that decent sized pullback. And, that's not what I think is going to happen. So, I'm looking for consolidation, or I'm looking for a continued, not continued. We're looking for consolidation. We're looking for a pullback, and then we look for the continued rally. I would like to see the continued rally into, on Wednesday. I want to see that start on Wednesday, which means we want to see this thing pull back or consolidate in an ideal scenario. All right, you're watching 533.17 on the downside, because guess what? There's absolutely nothing above there. You could be watching 536.64, but like I said, you're floating on thin air. Come back and watch that 1 hour 9 EMA right there. Daily time frame. Do you see how extended we are right now? Like, this is what I'm saying. Explosions are happening right now. I think it's very likely that we consolidate or pull back. It's just the likely scenario. Okay. SPY over here. Do you see anything bearish about this? No. All right. If you said yes, guess what? I will show you the correct way to look at a chart, but it's not something to be bearish on when you are consolidating in this bullish manner right off the 9 EMA. And, guess what? I wouldn't be surprised if this thing pulls back down to here. Maybe we revisit 604.32 tomorrow. All right. Or you continue to reject 607.16, and you just continue to trade flat above that daily 9. I think it's probably going to keep holding, but you very clearly have a bull pennant coming out here. With how IWM is looking, we're just going to skip over to that guy. You bounce right off the trend line. We pointed out you got plenty of touch points going on this trend line right here. You got 1, you got a 2, a 3, a 4, almost 4, a 4, a 5. All right, a bunch, false breakdown there, and now you have 6 and a 7. This trend line is being respected. We have, the mother of all confluence spots going on right now. You have the weekly 9 sitting right there. You're on the trend line. You're on the golden pocket. You're off of, 230, 275 support. Guys, confluence is there. We talked about this 4-hour RSI with ETH, extended trading hours over here, turned on. Guys, everything was suggesting we were probably going to be bouncing. When this thing gets back down here, you start looking for it to bounce. It can go a little bit lower, but even if it went a little bit lower, you're going to be coming down to, again, another key spot down here at 226.64. And then you'd have the daily RSI looking oversold. In reality, guys, this thing is just falling down in a controlled manner. You retraced into the golden pocket. I think we have an impulsive move sitting right around the corner here. Weekly chart looks good. Daily chart looks good. 4-hour chart, we already pointed out, is so oversold over here that we're going to start looking for buyers, especially right off that trend line and in the golden pocket. These are the things that are suggested to me, guys. Downside is probably limited. Now, I know we haven't talked about in a while. We're going to come over here to DIA. DIA is something that is, just straight up red days over here. We got a 1, we got a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, 6, 7, and an 8 straight back to 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 back red days over here. Very likely this thing's going to be starting to get bought up. You have, we're talking regular hours here, regular trading hours, RTH. All right, 4-hour RSI is now getting down to the spot where you got the last few bounces from. I don't think this time is going to be different. Even if it goes a little bit lower here, I don't think it's going much lower. And I think, within a day or two, this is 1 day lower, and then boom, give it two trading sessions, you're back up, baby. You're back up right to where you fell from. All right, so, we're in the golden pocket now. We have the 4-hour RSI entering that same spot that we've been getting, decent amount of bounces from over here. It marked, you carved out a bullish divergence, so maybe we get something like this. All right, maybe you get a little pop tomorrow because DIA wants to go, against what the actual market's doing, against what NASDAQ's doing. And then boom, you put in a bullish divergence, and then we get something like this, and it would probably be something like that. All right. I think this thing is getting ready for a bounce. You got IWM looking like it's ready to bounce. You got DIA looking like it's going to be bouncing soon. You have SPY set up in, this bull pennant like manner over here. It's really not looking bad into this Wednesday event, guys. I think we got explosions probably right around the corner. And then you know what? What are we going to do, guys? We're going to jump right over to chips, and we're going to point out how those bad boys are looking coming into this event. SMH over here consolidating, getting ready for a big breakout. We talked about Avgo. We hammered the absolute table on this one not too long ago. I'm not going to say I held through this move because I freaking didn't. Do I wish I did? Yeah. Did I know this was coming? No. All right. No, but I very clearly pointed out the explosive setup that was happening over here as we started, pushing up here above the 0.786 fib. You got your explosions, but you know, the thing that I was pointing out is every year, not every year, every time over the last 1.3 years, you got down to this spot on the daily RSI, you ended up seeing a short-term bottom where you got like a 10% rip. All right. I was a little pussy over here. Okay. I did not hold for this massive move. I did not. But if I did, it would have been insane. If you did, you made it in the same place. So congratulations. Guys, do not jump in front of the train. All right. I told someone recently, I compared this to you know, if you don't wait for the weakness to come in, you are jumping in front of a train. This thing just had this biggest day ever on Friday. It's probably going to continue higher for a little bit, and you have no reason to short something that's so strong. It makes no sense to me why people want to short these things. It's clearly a freight train, and if you jump in front of it and it doesn't happen to tank out of absolute nowhere, you're getting ran over, stomped. Your options are going to nothing. All right? There's no reason to short this thing. Just putting it out there. If it pulls back, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now let's talk about what I really want to talk about right here. NVIDIA, guys. I hope this bad boy pulls back to 127.67 tomorrow. Give me 127.67 to 129.60. I think that's going to be our short-term bottom. We have a head and shoulders pattern playing out here, guys. I feel like somewhere we've seen a head and shoulders pattern. It's right over here. What did you get? You got a false breakdown. You had like 4 days over here of, you know, consolidating right around that neckline over there. And what happens was a false breakdown, and then you rocket shipped, okay? You absolutely rocket shipped over there. I think that's what we got right around the corner. I pointed out over the last few videos, guys, if we get this perfect setup, this is where the money making is right now. This is the clear as day opportunity. I think anybody's going to have a very good time with 117 calls, 221 calls. You buy some March calls. I talked to someone today. They got some March calls. I think you're going to have a really good time over here. But it's extremely obvious this head and shoulders, and you know, bears, I've been pointing out on the market, you have no reason to get bearish on the market. And if you do not know how to read a chart, and I am here to teach you how to read that chart. I'm not trying to be a mean person. I'm genuinely a nice guy. All right. But I'm definitely telling you right now, you are going to hurt yourself. You're going to do more harm than good if you're sitting there looking at these charts in a bearish manner when they are very clearly still in an aggressive uptrend, and we haven't even had that blow off style top, and you're trying to call for, you know, a big move down. Why are you even trying to short these things? If they pull back, look at it as a buying opportunity. You got no reason to short these things. So that's my attitude towards this, and that's my attitude towards anybody who's getting bearish in these charts, because I promise you are not looking at the charts in the correct manner. I will show you how to look at them in the correct manner. If you don't believe that, you know, I'm decent at this, just go back and check my work. We've nailed stuff for, you know, months and months and months and months and months and years. Okay. Just go back and fact check me if you don't believe me. Okay. I promise this is the correct way to look at charts. And I will put my name on the line like I do, you know, 5 days a week here on this channel. And I will continue to do so. And I am only here to teach. Okay. And to make some money here. And I hope I'm helping other people make money, because we've been killing the market. I hope you guys have been killing the freaking market, okay? Back over here in NVIDIA, guys, you get the mother of all confluence while everybody, you know, sees this head and shoulders pattern. I'm guessing it's not going to play out, or you get a false breakdown here. You come down here, and you rip back up. And then we're talking 146.54, okay? You see where these gray lines are? That's because it's on the focus list, guys. It's on the focus list. When we put things on the focus list, that means we're watching for it. And we're watching for that entry. Right here, 131.26 to 127.67. That's the, you know, buy zone sitting down there. I made a Twitter post about it too. If you're not following the Twitter, link is going to be down below. All right. So, you know, come down here. You got the 0.618 fib, the golden pocket test. You're gonna have break and retest right here off of 131.26. Break and retest off of I got the hiccups already. Gosh darn it. 127.67, and then you're also going to have the daily RSI getting down to a spot where every time over the last 2 to 3 years, you have gotten that decent size bounce. Guys, that is December 27th down here, 2022. We're in December 2024. That is 2 years, not 2 to 3 years. For the last 2 years, though, every time you've hit this spot over here, 37-ish over here on the daily RSI, downside was limited. Within 1 to 3 trading sessions, you got a wicked bounce. And even if it's going to be something like this, where it looks all scary, you are still going to be finding your bottom. Okay. So I am looking to time that bottom. People say you cannot time the market. I have proved that you can time the market most weeks for a very long time in a very detailed manner. And I've definitely proved it over give it a month, and all pretty much everything we talk about pretty much plays out. So I'm just saying, if you are someone who still thinks you can't time the market, I will prove to you that you guaranteed can, because I consistently do it here on this channel, and I know other people are using it to their advantage, because you definitely can time the market. And it is through things that we talk about on this channel. We're talking structure, we're talking the daily RSI, we're talking just honest general price action, guys. Structure over time, you're going to get a sixth sense, okay, for how the market is going to be moving, and price action is going to be your guide. And we have seen this story before, and it is about to go into rippy mode, and we're going to make some money. Okay, I hope you guys are making money. But that's the video over here. We're going to talk about ARM, guys. You're retesting right here, the breakout trend line right there. I know it looks pretty ugly as of today. I understand that, but in reality, you already saw the big weekly breakout over this trend line right here. Touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point. We saw the story over here. I know it went straight up. It's not going straight up right now. I think with solid shot, you get a nice lower wick on the week, and then you continue higher the following week. All right, so we're going to see how this one plays out, but I do think it's coming up to 164.16 in the short term. We're talking 1 to 2 weeks. I think there's a solid shot now that you have started breaking out from that downtrend. If you can break above 164.16, you make a higher high over here after making this higher low. And at that point, all right, double bottom action right there. All right, neckline 164.16. All right, right leg right there, the shorter leg. I always use the shorter one to be conservative there. $37. We're talking $200. New all-time high incoming. If you could take out 164.16, I think this thing could be an explosive setup right around the corner. All right, so that's the video. We're going to come over here to MU, guys. It started getting some life given into it today. All right, you got this increasing volume. I said watch for the breakout above 106.40 or the break under. I took off the level, but it was $96. 96.14, was that what it was? No, it was 95.64 over here. Okay, but you're watching for the breakout from this range. All right, it was down here or up here. You broke to the upside. You got earnings on Wednesday. It's looking like it wants to continue. I know you got this nice upper wick, but if you get some of this action, all right, right into earnings, my guess is you get something like that. I'm liking the look of MU from this point on. It's kind of made its decision in my eyes. It wants to do something similar to what Avgo just did. It's running into earnings. I'm really liking how this thing is looking. Okay, TSM over here, guys. All right, I know you closed out the day with a red candlestick, and it was at a hammer candlestick at the high over here. You had me in the first half, but I'll tell you right now, I know what this thing is wanting to do. It's very clear, the structure, and that's what I was saying. It's simple structure and price action that is going to guide you through these markets, and this thing is very clearly giving us something that we have definitely seen before. That nice big fat inverse head and shoulders pattern. I think it's getting ready for a pop up to new highs. I think it's probably going to happen in an explosive manner, and if you could break above it, guys, we're talking 220 in the short term. Okay, we're talking 212.60 coming very quick, probably in a day or two. I'm not saying a day from now. You break above 206.61, then 1 to 2 trading sessions, you get up to 212.60. Then from there, I think 220 is very likely incoming. Take just the right shoulder right here, even though, measure move technically is going to be from here to here. But like I said, I'm a conservative dude. All right, just come over here. That's a $15 move above 206. That brings you right to 221, ladies and gents. I think that is where this bad boy is coming. We have a setup for SMH to get a breakout. And once SMH gets a breakout, and once the king returns to his throne, that is when this market is probably going to rip higher. All right. NASDAQ is going to have one of the big boys working with it again. We already have Tesla leading the pack. All right. We're going to talk about it right after this, but we're going to talk about AMD first, guys. You put in that hammer / pin bar candlestick today. You put in the bullish divergence. I told you once you hit this level down here, I didn't say that. Once you hit oversold territory, you typically will get a bounce, and then it puts in a bullish divergence. It's happened so many times now. Don't be fooled by that first initial bounce. I don't know if this was the first initial bounce. I'm going to be honest. Technically, it wasn't. Technically, we do have that bullish divergence in right there on the daily RSI as of right now. You have a higher low over here on that point compared to this point. This is a lower low. That's your bullish divergence with that nice little bottoming tail sitting there. Honestly, this thing could start, moving up, guys. This thing, we could have seen a short-term bottom get put in today. I think we're going to probably be testing 132.11 and then 134.93 after that. All right, now let's talk about some really sexy looking charts. Okay, Tesla, guys, target has been hit in the after hours. We can come over here, put on extended hours. You did end up going right by my 465 target, guys. Again, with these measured moves, it is as simple as it sounds, guys. All right, but in reality, this was your, what is that, guys? That's your 30% move. I said it was going to happen. The previous, I think it was 3 breakouts. We saw it happen inside of 1 week. Okay, coming from here up to here, you saw these, 26% moves. I think I was saying within 1 week, guys. You got that move within 2 weeks. I know. That's crazy. Only 2 weeks. What are you mad, Henry? Oh my God, are you freaking crazy? It only took 2 weeks. Oh no, not 1 week like you said. It took 2. But you guys can see we did now get that 30% move inside of 2 weeks. That's not bad at all. I know we were talking, it could happen in a week. It did not, guys. That's why you buy time in your contracts. You don't, just don't gamble out there. There's absolutely no point to gamble out there. You can see right here. All right, 27% right there. It took a few weeks there. We got that straight vertical move here, and this thing is probably going to continue higher. I think $500 isn't coming over here. You just broke out past the new all-time high over here. You made a new one. Monthly chart's looking absolutely insane. I told you guys this guy would be leading the charge. It is definitely leading the way through the Mag 7. We can actually come over here. How are we looking, guys? Since we pointed out this bull pennant over here above all-time highs is looking absolutely phenomenal. And once we broke out, boom. All right, over a 10% move. And what was leading the charge? Old Tesla. Guys, this chart right here told us we should be paying attention to the Mag 7. That is Tesla. That is Meta. All right, Meta over here. What happened over here? You then broke out after that. Mag's ETF over there broke out. It's looking phenomenal. Meta's still looking like it's probably going to be going higher. I told you this week, I'm comparing it to this week over here. I think we're going to be hitting 650 in the short term, 1 to 2 weeks. All right, you come over to Goog. How are we looking over here, guys? You pulled back. Again, do not be bearish in these things. They have so much strength behind them. Why are you going to short the pullback? Just look for another buying opportunity. That's all you had to do. Okay? It's looking absolutely phenomenal. What happened with Microsoft, guys? It said, screw you, pullback. We don't want to test 441.85. We don't want to give Henry what he wants. We don't want it. We're going to hit it with a bullish engulfing candlestick off of increasing volume. All these things look strong, guys. And I'm just saying, if the market, if the indices over there, SPY, QQQ, they manage to consolidate tomorrow, Wednesday, I think we have some explosive action right around the corner. I think, Microsoft has a chance at running to all-time highs over the, next 1 to 2 weeks. We talked about these things, guys, and they're looking monstrous. You got Apple over here, guys. It wants to go higher. You hit a new high today. Oh my God. That's what I'm saying, guys. Pullbacks, consolidation is buying opportunities. Do not get bearish on these charts. You're not going to have a good time. And all I want for you guys is to have a freaking good time. I want you guys to make money. All right. Maybe you're at your jobs. Maybe you want to check in on your phone and maybe you're up a few grand. That's a great feeling. I want you to experience that. And you're not going to experience that if you're sitting there being, it's extended. Guys, I pointed out, it's 4 months of consolidation. This is now week number 3. We pointed out on week number 1. We pointed out on week number 2. It's still not done. It wants 255. It wants 260. We're coming over to Amazon. It's still not done. Okay? New breakout. Bull flag. Consolidation. Led to new high. Pulled back to the daily 9. It's looking juicy, guys. You didn't fall my arrow. You didn't give Henry what he wanted. But you did end up going higher in the end, and now you have increasing volume on the day. Guys, these things are not things to get bearish on. I know we got that catalyst, but everything looks like it wants to go higher. And with how NVIDIA is looking over here, I'm going to guess this thing's about to go higher on Wednesday. With how DAA is looking over here on the 4-hour time frame, I'm going to guess it's about to go higher on Wednesday. With how IWM is especially looking over here, I'm going to guess we're going to get a rate cut, and this thing is going to break that downtrend, and this thing's going to come straight over here to new highs, 244.98. I'm really liking how everything's looking, okay? Nothing to be bearish on. With that being said, guys, let's check out Bitcoin over here. We talked about MSTR when it was consolidating this pennant. I told you, am I going to touch it? No. All right. But in reality, it's probably going higher. Break above 444.94. It's clear skies up here to 543. You got absolutely nothing in between here and here. It was a big fat red day. There you go. Okay, you got coin over here, guys. I think this thing is getting ready for a big move up, and it doesn't have to be just yet, but I do think it is getting ready to rip. Okay, but at the same time, I don't even really want to play these things because they've been absolute trolls, and Bitcoin has been, trekking higher over here. And why has things just not been participating? You got Mara over here, not looking too bad. You want to see how Mara's looking? Bull flag. All right, guys, things look good right now. That's all I'm saying. There you go. All right, guys, I'm going to close out the video with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Upstart looks like it's probably going to continue higher. We pointed out Rivian, probably going to be continue higher. You now are testing that trend line / you got a daily close above it off increasing volume today. But, I pointed out this is looking like a, something that could get explosive. My game plan over here above 1472, 1585 in the short term. And then there, guys, hey, 1886. It is probably going to be incoming, but you watch 1585 and then you watch 1680, get above 1690, look for 1886. I think this can be an explosive setup in the short term. Weekly chart, monthly chart. Monthly is actually the one that I was, paying attention to. Very clearly, it's getting ready for that big ripperoonie over here, right around the corner. But daily time frame over here, you could see this thing is just starting to heat up. You're consolidating, a bullish manner above the breakout level, above the daily 9. And what did it lead to? Further upside. Okay, things will not look bad. We pointed out the BA over here, guys. It switched. Okay, structure has been switched back to bullish once you broke above 163.44. Dips are buying opportunities over here on BA. And we also pointed out get above 171.50. Guess what? It's probably heading to 175.28 in the short term, then 180.70. That's when this thing really starts moving, and I won't be surprised if you have, a move back up here to 196.95. Things are looking so good. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Still consolidating this bull flag. You got earnings on Thursday. That is that. All right. You came back, pulled back to the weekly 9 over here. You didn't quite hit it. I was watching for a test over here, 23.40. That was your breakout level, your most recent one. You're on the daily 21 EMA right here, and you're starting to find buyers. Not looking so bad, but if you really want to see an explosive small cap / mid cap setup that would go if IWM goes, it's Upstart, guys, above 81.97. We knew the game plan. You broke and retest today. 86.07 short term after that, then 94.43, and then 116.90. This thing can get mighty fine rips, 50%. Give me a nice, what is this, 36% up to 116.90. Okay, let's just check in on something else right now. I'll put some more setups on your radar right now. SQ, guys, pulling back in this controlled manner. I think it's about to get a leg up. You're now consolidating right around the daily 9, but what do you test today? The daily 21 EMA and that golden pocket, and you're finding buyers there. I'm really liking how this thing is looking over here, and I think you're about to go up for the next leg. You want to see another thing that's looking mighty fine? We put it on your radar, and now it's here, guys. I do think this thing is going to pop up to new high, and above here, guys, we're going to come over the, over here on the daily time frame. You don't really have much in between here, so you can put on right here, okay. But above 63.44, you're having a straight shot up to 66.27. You want momentum? I'll give you freaking momentum. You come over here to Uber, it's the opposite of momentum. Someone asked about Uber today. I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be getting a bounce right around here, guys. Dead cat bounce could happen, okay. But the last time you really died over here and did not bounce right away off of here was during the COVID 2020 crash, and I don't think we're crashing right now. I think you're probably going to start getting bought up right around here. It's going to be a dead cat bounce. Maybe you come up here, maybe get your 10% bounce, and then you continue lower. Okay, so opposite of momentum right there. You want some more momentum right here? QBTS, looking solid. Okay, but at the same time, would I touch it? No, I wouldn't touch this thing. Guys, markets are hot. Roblox back up at the highs. Dips are buying opportunities. Weekly chart is suggested we're probably getting up here to 69.77 to 73.71. I'm really liking how things are looking. And with that being said, I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their night. And I will catch y'all tomorrow. I hope you kill it. But just remember, guys, we could very well get that pullback or consolidation. And that will equals buying opportunity going into Wednesday, in my personal opinion. You want to, just a little quick reminder here. DIA, 4-hour RSI, same spot you've been bouncing for a while, and you are at the golden pocket. IWM, all right, 4-hour RSI with extended hours. You're already down here. You're at the mother of all confluence spots right there. SPY, consolidating a bull flag / bull pennant right above the daily 9 EMA. It's probably going to start popping up. QQQ, you got nothing to be bearish on this chart. This thing is having that blow up style top. All right. And that is that. Wouldn't it be picture perfect if VIX got a little pop? All right. You get everyone all scared. Okay. And then it crushes. You get a nice weekly upper wick. You want to see another thing that's tying into my thesis? NVDA. Why is NVDA going to die? It's probably not going to die. You're probably going to get bought up the same exact spot down here on the daily RSI. They've been bought up every single time over the last 2 years. With that being said, ladies and gents, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.